I think in your next take, you should be like, by Grabthar's hammer, you shall be drunk.
Not only direction, but a line rating.
Yeah.
Also, it's not a Thor,
You shall be drunk off your ass before the podcast
right?
begins.
Channel your inner Alan Rickman.
Hello, Alan. This is Alan. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Imbibe Cinema Podcast. The Imbibe Cinema Podcast is brought to you by the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival, otherwise known as BWIF. I'm Jonathan C. Leggett, along with my co-host,
Trisha Leggett.
and our producer.
Michael Nowens.
In this episode, we're going to be discussing the 1999 classic, Galaxy Quest. The cocktail that we are imbibing is called Grabthar's Hammer. By Grabthar's Hammer, you shall be drunk. It has rye whiskey, Benedictine, some sweet vermouth, as well as orange bitters. It is quite tasty.
You're supposed to set an orange on fire, but we did not have an orange.
Trisha decided to buy clementines, which apparently are not as flammable.
Well, it's still delicious.
Yes.
I will say that.
Yes. I would, if we had one thing to change about it, I would have liked for us to have
Blue food coloring.
Yes.
Because all of the aliens are either blue, have blue blood,
or they drink blue.
liquids.
Oh, that's so
Liquids.
funny because I was thinking you were basically giving notes. And I was like, oh, will they be in blue? And then they were.
Oh,
They
there
were
you go.
in blue.
We also have these notes in blue. The recipe as well as pictures are available on our website, imbibecinema.com. In addition to this podcast, we also offer a variety of shorts and feature-length independent films that you can enjoy for free. But when you become an Imbibe Cinema member, you get access to monthly limited releases. To learn more and begin your membership, visit imbibecinema.com or download the Imbibe Cinema mobile app, available on the App Store as well as Google Play. So, one of the first things that we thought about diving into when it comes to this particular topic is the homage to Star Trek, the fandom, the quasi joke about the fans. In fact, I specifically remember the writer and director discussing the fact that they were in a convention hall at the urinals and had three Klingons making fun of something. At the convention, and that apparently spurned most of the jokes or ideas of the
For the
remainder
actual convention.
Yeah,
There were a lot of anticipated, I guess, disappointment or I'm forgetting all words now. It's a good drink. No, there are a lot of people.
She said
they didn't
3
expect
sips.
everybody within the community.
Yeah.
Community, the Star Trek community, talking about fandom as well as those whose careers pretty much were attached to the legacy of Star Trek, right? And all that entails, and the critics as well. They thought they were probably too on the nose. That like going in, people were thinking this was going to be too much like of a joke, and a lot of them were expecting not to like the film at all. And then you hear afterwards, like Patrick Stewart was all like, no. And then, oh, actually, I really did enjoy it. I was surprised. And like a lot of Star Trek actors and directors and stuff were like, oh, no, I really get it. It was really good. And the critics loved it.
Yeah.
And then the people didn't go to see it. In fact, the people who did go to see it were like, a lot of them were trying to get into another movie. And I can't remember what movie that was, but it was a big hit. They were trying to get in that movie and they couldn't. So they went to see Galaxy Quest and they were like, I really liked it. In fact, the creators said the compliment they get the most at the time was, I didn't want to see it. I didn't think I'd like it. It was really good.
Yeah. It is definitely one of those films that has invariably become a cult classic, one that its followers are very avid about, and I do feel that, I mean, even Rotten Tomato kind of shows it. This is a film that is widely loved. It was not. Yeah. It did not hit the box office that it should have. It's a hard film to sell.
Yeah.
Well, and to what both of you are saying in combination, actually, the marketing really, like, rewatching the trailer, I feel like it was making fun of Star Trek and Star Trek fans. That's how it feels. I kind of equate it to the 3 films that Simon Pegg was part of.
Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and World's End.
Yes.
But like using Shaun of the Dead as a good example, it is making fun of zombie films.
Yes.
While at the same time
being a zombie
really
film.
good zombie film.
And not just that.
That's this as well.
Yes.
It is making fun of Star Trek fans.
Yep.
It is making fun of Star Trek. And it is also a really enjoyable and good Star Trek sci-fi fan film almost. Like if you were to just be like, oh, I want to make Star Trek, but I'm just going to change all of the characters' names so I don't get sued by the IP.
Well,
It's a really good Star Trek. It outdid Star Trek for a while. It was more Star Trek than Star Trek was.
That's fair. Until Star Trek re-remembered what it was.
Yeah, when it was rediscovering itself, it wasn't Star Trek. And so therefore,
big shout out, Seth. We very much loved and wish Orville was
make more
still
stuff,
around. Please,
Seth. We miss you. I'm sure you're busy, but
he just did. He just at least produced The Naked Gun, which I haven't seen yet, but I have heard
amazing things about.
I'm so glad the '90s is coming back.
Yeah.
Well, in the comments too, that people were making, like, they're hoping that a whole new generation discovers Leslie Nielsen, and I think that's a really cool comment.
So, and I think, like you're saying. Initially, this movie, just seeing the trailer or the concept of the movie, you think, okay, this is airplane to airport. The airport movies, Airplane made fun of that.
Right.
But Airplane changed a lot of things.
Yes.
Right? It changed the genre. It started a new one.
Thoroughly confused Peter Graves.
Yes.
Even during the premiere. Yes. I don't
especially
understand.
During the premiere when his wife continued to laugh harder at his not understanding why this was funny.
At one point, he says, still don't understand why this is funny.
Yeah. But again, and what that goes to is just the sheer fact that, like, they play it serious.
Yes.
This is possibly one of the most heartbreaking films. These actors have unknowingly caused a genocide of an almost entire species.
That's the layers to this that is so cool. When you think about it, it's so meta. It's like, they don't understand how much influence they have on masses they do not see. And in this instance, in the film, it is like a whole species being wiped out. But it's also Star Trek, how much an influence it has on people you don't they didn't realize how big a ripple they were making, how it changed. Like, our dad said you got to watch one TV show. When he was a kid, he could pick one TV show, and it was a choice between Bonanza and Star Trek. That was his thing. Like, he had to choose, and he chose Star Trek. And then he became an engineer. So it makes you wonder, if he had chosen Bonanza, what would have happened?
He would have been a sheriff. This also hits a more interesting note in present day, where it does seem a lot of people have unknowingly watched Star Trek and not been aware of it. Just the amount of backlash that Star Trek has been getting of being too woke. And you have to look at the people who are saying the words Star Trek is too woke and go, what Star Trek had you been watching previously?
Right, because wasn't that...
It was groundbreaking. It was the first interracial kiss ever on television was Star Trek. And what Orville did as well. They take a lot of real controversial subjects in present
flip
day,
them on their head,
and then put them in the future in space with other aliens, and then you can get a different
Some people
view.
Can clearly see them from that outside view, and some people apparently just watch it and don't internalize.
Well, and that was like Gene Roddenberry's goal the entire time, was to mirror. I don't know if mirror is the right word, but I'm going to use it, mirror situations or issues that the general population of Earth were dealing with, grappling with, and then bringing that into a science fiction world.
Correct. What the mirror is you're trying to turn the mirror on the audience. You're trying to make the audience see themselves in the situation, even though because it is distant, both from a distance as well as future or past or just intergalactic, they are able to see how they are either helping or hurting the situation that is being presented in front of them by turning that mirror on them and forcing them to look at themselves in it. And clearly not enough people see the mirror.
So
and that's what this movie does too. Like quite literally.
Right.
Yes.
I love there's something I had just, I'm sure it was a TikTok or something, but it was this guy talking
You're on
about.
TikTok?
What?
No. It just things.
How do you
It was
see
like,
TikTok?
please
It was
Sam, if you do not?
TikTok-ish.
It was
TikTok-ish.
TikTok light? Reels?
Adjacent. Okay, so as I was going to say, this video, which has an unknown source material that I'm referencing, is a gentleman talking about how he's wearing a Star Trek t-shirt. And this woman comes up and says, "Why Star Trek?" And he lists off every other science fiction popular thing that we know, right? All the sci-fi stuff. And he goes, "This is the only one that ends well. This is the only future hope. This is hopeful. This says we're going to get past all that bullshit and we're going to be better and we're going to go out and we're going to explore and we're going to grow and we're going to be good. And everything else has us blowing ourselves up."
Right? Yeah, that's true.
And
the mass majority of futuristic sci-fi
is dark.
End of
is
days.
pretty damn dark. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now, to be fair, Star Trek does take place after the Third World War, where humanity is almost wiped out, and it's only until
Zephram Cochrane?
Yes.
Zephram Cochrane,
Ooh, look at me.
finds... I will look at you. He finds warp technology, and because he ends up warping around the planet while just trying to screw around, it's what causes the Vulcans to come down to Earth, and that is what essentially first contact being the thing that causes humanity to unite under a more, hey, let's progress forward instead of fighting each other and being
when you
stupid
know
and
you're not
squabbly.
alone. When you know you're not alone, and changes perspective. In some ways, like in Independence Day, it can unite the world against a new foe.
Well, yeah, and in the real world, the only people that I've really consistently heard this from is like time after time you hear astronauts from multiple different countries that spend a good deal of time in space on the International Space Station looking down at Earth, and they come back with a totally different perspective.
Yep.
I don't see any borders. I don't see
countries.
you just see one fragile planet. And it if only we could all, and a picture doesn't do it justice.
No.
So
Was it
if
Carl
only we
Sagan?
could all be up there and see that, it would change us, I'm sure.
As long as we're not up there with George Clooney.
He was trying to save her. So
In the movie Gravity, folks. Sorry.
Yes.
Was he?
Didn't end well for him.
Yeah.
Anyways. Galaxy Quest. So they expected more of a airplane slapstick, make fun of it humor, but it was a love letter to Star Trek. It was there was the heart was all there.
Yes.
And that in part was because how seriously everybody took it in that film when making it, which is the second half, and I'm not going to continue to talk about that. Look at this drink.
Who are you? And she says that while taking a drink. I'm even more devastatedly impressed.
That's because I'm the most sober person at the table.
You raise a valid point.
No, that's not true. Agnes is, but she's sleeping.
Pretty soundly too.
Yeah.
Oh. So when we're talking about meta stuff, the fact that like the actors have unintended consequences that go far beyond, but also the aliens in the movie in general, so well done. They all have that childish wonder about
Yes.
them. They're all so excited. They're all scientists. They're all so smart, and yet they idolize Tim Allen and the crew.
And the
fact
historical
that,
documents.
those poor people.
You don't think that Gilligan's Island...
No, those poor
people.
the way they talk. But no, that kind of the innocence, and then the fact that like you have the point where Jason Nesbitt has to tell the leader of their people, no, we pretended, we lied, and the devastation. And it's this whole like, no, you understand, you inspire the innocence that you don't see, and to be more. And yeah, so maybe I read too much into the film, but I love it anyway.
But the villain in that is so fantastic. Robin Sachs was Ceres. Is so fantastic in just the sense that he is this villainous character, but he's hyper aware of things in the sense that he immediately understands that the historical documents are television shows. Right. And he almost takes a sick amount of pleasure in making Tim Allen explain.
Well, and what's even worse is like, it not only does he have to explain it once, but he has to explain it again. He tries to do it once, and he's like, no. Explain as if you were talking
to a child.
The thing I would say about this movie is it follows one of my favorite story, I don't know, convention is not the right word, but the way that especially a comedy works. When you're enjoying a story and it's so funny and you're like pulled into it and it's just hilarious, and then all of a sudden it's like you get slapped across the face. Yep. And you're like, oh, this isn't funny anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've called it like it's all fun and games until it isn't.
Yes.
And it's one of my favorite things in a story because it's the plot twist in a way to a comedy like this.
Yes. It is the sobering moment.
There you go.
You like
yes.
that? Yeah.
Well done.
I know. I'm
an
pretty
early,
fucking...
An early cheers.
I'm pretty proud of that one. But it's true because, again, like you understand at the joke moment when he's like, oh, we have no home to go back to. And it's only when he's like, no, tell him what you are. Right. That is the sobering moment for us as the audience member. And again, the lows make the highs.
Yeah.
It only makes the movie funnier knowing that it has those moments that pull on your heartstrings.
And there are lots of nods and kind of jabs at the genre.
Yeah.
Like our ship was made of cardboard.
Yes.
And Christmas lights.
Christmas lights, right. I was going to say.
And then Sigourney Weaver's incredible lines like, this episode was badly written.
Yes.
Whoever wrote this episode should die.
I have one job on this ship. It's stupid, but I'm doing it.
Yeah. Women, for the most part, in sci-fi for a very long time, were just props.
Right.
In fact, her job is to repeat the computer.
The computer says a line, and then she repeats the line.
It was like her interview article was this many paragraphs about how her boobs fit in her costume.
Yes.
Which is so funny because this is 1999, and we're making a joke about a TV show from the 80s.
Yeah.
And yet, what was the biggest complaint from all the superhero movies when the women are interviewed? How do you fit in those spandex?
Yeah.
What kind of diet are you on? And the guys aren't asked that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there are these great references to things like Guy.
Oh man,
crewman number 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just at first I thought it was the guy who was gonna be like die on the ship, and now I'm thinking I'm gonna be the guy that dies on the planet
5 minutes into after we're on the series. And lovingly pointing out the sheer fact that one of the interesting juxtapositions of the movie is you've got an entire race that is science officers that do not understand what television is, and then you have these children out on the planet that they encounter who are cannibals, the miners, and eat each other, and while you have adults in space who are children. Minded.
Juxtaposition.
Yes.
Does the rolling help?
Beautiful thing. We're going to take a few minutes to fill our glasses and get ready to imbibe more after this. The Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival exhibits short and feature-length motion pictures, that utilize story elements in a new and exciting way. Our official selections are a carefully assembled blend of imaginative, sophisticated, and full-bodied stories. This is what our name represents. With audiences expect to experience character-driven independent cinema that is fueled by the filmmaker's passion for the art of visual storytelling. Filmmakers can expect an intimate festival experience where their personal story is valued as much as the one projected on the big screen. I'm Jonathan C. Leggett, and I'm here along with
Trisha Leggett
and
Michael Nowens.
We are discussing Galaxy Quest.
Briefly.
We waxed a lot of poetics.
Are you something?
Enjoying this podcast? Please subscribe or follow us on your favorite podcast providers to get new episodes as soon as we release them. Rate and leave us a review to help the show reach a larger audience. And you can also follow us, Imbibe Cinema, on Facebook, Instagrams, and the Threads.
This film initially was going to be directed by Harold Ramis.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know
that.
that.
That would have been a different... And he was looking at Kevin Kline to play Jason Nesbitt.
Wait, was it Kevin Kline? I thought it was Baldwin.
He was considering one or the other.
Okay.
I'd be interested to see the Harold Ramis version, but I don't think it could have been improved upon from what it was. Then also, Alan Rickman took his role very seriously. There was a point where they thought he should be knighted. He should be Sir Alexander, whatever his name is, Don or something. And he said, no, my character would never have been knighted. He was like, no. He's not that actor. In the credits, though, he's still credited as Sir Alexander. And then evidently on set, when they did the Grabthar's hammer scene with Quaylick, the young alien that idolizes his character.
Yes, Patrick Breen.
That delivery, that scene is just so powerful. And then the crew is crying. It's like, we didn't expect this today.
And yet I feel almost more sad for them for not expecting Alan Rickman to show up.
Yeah, right?
I mean, you want to talk about an actor who's going to deliver everything as if it is 110%. Mm-hmm. Alan Rickman is that.
Yeah.
Is that actor.
And then there was going to be a sequel. Years and years later, they were all going to get together and do the sequel. I guess for fun in a reunion kind of way, but they had the right script and the right moment and everybody was on board. And then Alan Rickman passed away. Tim Allen said we just couldn't do it without him. It wasn't right.
It wouldn't work.
It wouldn't.
No.
I mean, a slight parallel, but part of the reason why I feel like they shouldn't make a Calvin timeline of Star Trek 4 is because they don't have Chekhov.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just heartbreaking. But back to Galaxy Quest.
Yes.
So,
when we talk about Galaxy Quest, you can't not talk about Star Trek.
You can't. Fair. No, exactly.
Very.
We have it on Blu-ray, and we went to watch it, and it had all these extras. And there are lots of movies we have that do not have near as many extras as this movie
That's
had.
fair.
It actually had an audible thing it changed every single thing into the alien language.
Yeah. I went to the bathroom and I came back and everything was suddenly in the
alien language. I think they're Thermian.
Yes, but he calls them termites.
Yes.
That's right. So it's the Thermians. She changed all of the languages to Thermians. And so everything was suddenly in Thermian and I could not exactly. Yep, yes. I could not undo it quickly enough for my brain to...
Yeah, he thought he was having a stroke. But
I did.
Here's the thing.
Legitimately.
Here's the thing. Which I should have played off as I don't know what's wrong with you. It's fine.
You should have also started speaking in Thermian.
Anyways. Oh, yeah. And...
oh, yeah.
There are so many different... they had so many deleted scenes. There's evidently a mockumentary that was made years later that people thought was real about the show. Being off the air now, where he was never on the air. But I'm thinking of Tony Shalhoub and his approach.
I was hoping we would get to him.
He asked, can I be the guy that, I just want my character to be just on board with everything. Just on board from the beginning. It's just like, wow. And half of his lines, I swear, are almost under his breath and you barely catch them.
Almost all of them. Almost all of them are under his breath. I mean,
squinting eyes
from the moment he arrives.
Quasi mumble. Yeah, but like
Do you even know if there's air here?
Yeah.
Feels okay to me.
Feels okay to me. Yeah. Like and apparently that's another situation where Sam Rockwell was apparently supposed to be a much smaller character, but because of how much he was improvising and how much he was adding to the character,
they just let him
they were like, well, no, we're going to keep Guy in here. And then, I do appreciate
died
that
on episode 81.
Yeah, I do appreciate that they did not redshirt him.
No, but they totally set him up like you're ready for Guy to die.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in fact, actually, that's my favorite thing is at the very end of the film, spoiler alert, where when they have to use the Omega, he's the only one, and he's sitting there like screaming and like just like completely like being shot. Like every bullet is hitting around him and killing everyone around him. He never gets hit. He is the only one during the Omega event that does not die.
And they'd be like, well, the only person who does survive this
is going to be Guy.
And then the whole thing about flying the ship, how we fly the ship. And how like they're leaving the dock, and
Tommy Weber.
Thank you. He was a kid when he was in the show, and now he's an adult, and it's like he's like, oh, I remember I did this. I know how I did this. I had a whole system for it.
Remember, they modeled this after your movement,
right? Yes. And then he just starts like everybody's like, wait, we're drifting into the
So good.
Right? Because, I mean, we've seen a lot of Star Trek, so we've seen a lot of gratuitous, let's look at the ship in slow motion. And it's like, oh, this is the best, because as we're watching the ship just be mutilated.
Yeah. And again, Star Trek, we watched the original episodes, we watched the movies and all that.
Sure.
The initial Star Trek, the motion picture.
Oh my God.
Like 17-minute, I don't actually know if it's that long, but like homage to the ship where they're in a shuttlecraft trying to board the ship. And instead of just boarding the ship, they go the entire length around the ship and see the ship from every fracking angle.
Right.
It's
gratuitous.
So long and gratuitously masturbatory that it is one of those things where it's like, I appreciate even more that they're just like, oh my God, that's the actual ship. And then they're on the ship.
Right.
Like there's not that, like they almost could have
the other thing
played
Star Trek
that a little bit harder.
And it doesn't matter which incarnation you see. It doesn't matter what generation, what it is. Their intro, their credit sequence is forever.
Yes. That is also a true statement.
It's always like, let's show this ship go from one side of the galaxy to the other.
Which I think Lower Decks has done an amazing job of, because of the sheer fact that it's the exact same sequence, but that they continuously add additional elements to it every time.
Right. Well, and in this movie, they have the opening credit sequence from the show. And then at the end, they have, when it comes back after being off the air, the new intro and new characters. Yes. And the movie was rated PG.
Yep.
So,
I'm glad that it's rated PG. I know there's really like only one moment that I caught.
Yep.
That it's like they don't even shy away from.
Nope.
And it almost makes it funnier, I feel, is the moment where they're in the...
Because they have to go through the chompy things.
Yeah, that have no purpose.
They have no purpose.
They have no purpose. But you can clearly see, she goes, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
Or
she's
something like that.
She goes, yeah, I think the original line is fuck that. And she goes, screw that.
Screw that.
But
it's very clear
Her lips
that's
are
not
saying,
what she says.
Fuck. Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's pretty great that they're like, you know what? I think even though it's obvious that's not what she's saying, it's almost it's another level of the joke. I
Correct.
feel.
Yeah, that's more than fair. Because again, even my brain started to go like, wait, how drunk am I?
Yeah.
I think this movie is my introduction to Sam Rockwell.
Yes.
I feel like I hadn't seen
Well, and it was-
or took notice of Sam Rockwell if I had seen him in anything
Right.
beforehand.
Where,
And I was like, I would watch anything with this guy.
right,
I would
and
watch him
it
eat a
was
bowl of
Rainn
cereal.
Wilson's first movie. Like Rainn Wilson, this is his first movie.
Oh,
He was
really?
One of
It
the
was?
featured aliens.
Yes, I do
The
remember
engineers.
he's in it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
But I didn't know it was one of his first
No,
movies.
he was.
That's amazing.
It was his first. movie.
Wow.
Before this, he had done some soap opera or something.
Mhm.
And he's hysterical for the little bit that he's.
Oh, yeah. He's
But-
hilarious.
But you are correct. Rockwell, Green Mile, and Galaxy Quest came out the same year.
Oh,
That's right. That's what he said. He said everybody was trying to get in to see the Green Mile, and those who couldn't saw
That's
Galaxy
right. It was
Quest.
Green Mile, and lo and behold, they still saw Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. A
but-
very
and-
different
I mean,
Sam Rockwell.
He
he'd
was
done
everywhere.
a number of things before that, but for the most part,
Freaking evil in
Oh, he's so
Green Mile.
so scary. He's
Versatile actor.
He's
Yeah,
one
sure.
of those actors that if he's in the movie, you're like, oh, it's gonna be good.
correct.
It's really amazing how this cast, how well they gelled together. And I think Tim Allen was offered this script as well as Bicentennial Man.
Oh.
And everybody was like, oh, that's like Oscar meat. Like that's that you want the Bicentennial Man, which by the way, did not do well. He took this one and, you know, but it was at first glance, it was the riskier project.
Sure.
But he's like, oh, I know this guy. I can play this guy. I know this guy.
Yeah. I mean, he played it perfectly. I mean, it really fits right in his wheelhouse of
Yes.
of Tim Allen characters, from like Buzz Lightyear to
Yeah.
Home Improvement, which actually I've
Right.
been watching recently because it's on Netflix. And man, is that a ridiculous 90s show. I'm like, ooh, you can't get away
Amen.
with that today.
Well,
No,
it's
you
like,
could
how
not.
many great taglines does Tim Allen have? Because here in this movie, it's never give up,
Never surrender.
and then in all the Toy Story movies, it's
To infinity and
And
beyond.
beyond.
And in
To
Home
advance.
Improvement, it's
Yep, exactly. Hashtag unintelligible. Oh yes. I do that. I
also
still do that
just
today.
continuing on the side note, watching Home Improvement as an adult. The three Taylor boys. I mean, I didn't grow up with any brothers, but holy crap, like just mean to each other. I was like, eesh.
we were mean to each other.
We were. All right,
Yeah, we
Black.
were.
You were the baby.
You
I
don't
blocked it
remember?
out.
We hit you in the head a lot.
Oh man. So I'm marking this situation. Poor Mark.
Yep, poor Mark.
Poor Mark.
Let's poke the bear.
All right, so as we kind of referenced in the first act here, this film was very
Widely
well
loved.
received.
Oh,
Very
wait,
well received.
Can I one more thing to say about well received?
This is
Nope.
how Poke the Bear always goes.
You're not
I
wrong.
start to talk,
You're not wrong.
and then Trisha's like, "Oh, one more thing."
No, okay, so it was well received. It was what was the tomato rating?
90%.
Only 2 Star Trek movies scored over that in all of the Star Trek
Which
movies.
two?
Wow, which two? Do you know?
Yes, I do. And coming in at number 1, Star Trek with Chris Pine.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
The
yeah.
reboot with
Fair.
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
fair.
Coming in at number 2, First Contact.
Oh,
Which we've
very
already
good.
referenced in this episode specifically.
Very good.
And everything else is below that. So technically,
Even
in the Star
Wrath of
Trek
Khan,
ranking, it comes
fascinating.
in 3rd. It's Star Trek ranking.
It's Star
it is-
Trek ranking. It comes in 3rd.
That's pretty good. I like it. What's interesting is that the popcorn meter, which is the audience rating, is
Yes.
only at 79%.
That
I
actually
find
does
that
fascinate me.
Yeah. But perhaps that will change over time. So I've got 3 rotten reviews to share with you this evening. And we'll start with USA Today. Quest skirts dangerously close to being the thing it parodies, a second-rate space opera.
Ooh, I
was
called that,
space
didn't I?
I find that fascinating.
I do. And I remember J.J. Abrams specifically when he talked about the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek. And it wasn't space opera specifically, but he did mention that it was orchestra versus rock.
Right, it was rock and roll.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to put a little rock and roll into
Yeah. So when he
which is why he
re-envisioned with
drums
Chris
on
Pine,
the camera.
Yeah, he's literally drumming on the camera. But so to that end, I understand, and I guess I appreciate how they are hitting that homage with the space opera.
Yeah.
That Star Trek is.
No, I wouldn't call it second rate, though. I'm kind of like, what?
Well, Tim Allen's character does not. I don't think any of them actually recognize themselves as being second rate. But what makes this heartbreaking is these actors think that they're playing a role.
Right.
And that them playing that role, even if it is a second rate show, has real life consequences intergalactically.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we got the Orlando Sentinel. And they say the premise is the best thing about the movie, but it's such a dandy premise that it's almost enough.
Dandy, huh?
Dandy is definitely the word.
Dandy.
I'm not misreading that.
Dandy.
All right. Then lastly, we've got the Dallas Morning News. And they say each actor plays an actor playing the sci-fi characters.
Oh, so they saw the movie. That's
they
good.
saw the movie. Exactly. It's a bit difficult to keep track of who's who. And ultimately, the characters are so underdeveloped, it's even more difficult to care.
This is somebody who arrived late to the movie, because one of the most fascinatingly beautiful things about this movie is that first 10 to 15 minutes.
Yes.
Where they're establishing how this show has become the iconic classic that it is and who these actors are. And you also get all the backstage of them at this convention where they're, you have the Shakespearean actor who is so absolutely torn with the fact that he cannot get away from this fucking character, this Lazarus. And
he did Shakespeare.
Like he
five
did Shakespeare.
Calls.
Exactly. 5 curtain calls.
Like, it doesn't matter. Everybody just wants
this is
him
somebody
to do
who
this.
went and got like popcorn and missed like the most important part of this movie to me.
And then somebody like Taggart who just wants to get back to being loved like this, just wants this role again. And then you have Gwen
who just wants people to look at her in the eye.
Exactly. and yet like, is reluctant, but then goes along with it. And what I think is so remarkably amazing actually about Sigourney Weaver's performance is that she takes such a ridiculous, objectifiable character and makes that character so fantastically three-dimensional.
Yes.
Right, because she's like this real person that shows up to be like the prop on set. And yet like they've been together for so long. Because of these conventions and all this stuff, that it's like you can see her and Alexander have this rapport.
Yes.
She's always worried about Jason. And obviously there's tension between the two that's always existed.
Yep. Right.
And it's like there's this family. And that happens, I hear, a lot with a lot
shows.
of productions.
Yeah. When you are working together so closely for so many years, of course, it's bound to happen. And so to say that they're underdeveloped is just like, what?
Yeah, you clearly missed something. I almost wonder what the fans' hot takes would be if they have a bear poke that would give us the insight into why the fans are not as...
Although I hear as a whole, like Galaxy Quest is beloved by Star Trek fans.
I mean, God knows it's beloved by us, and we are Star Trek fans. We greatly appreciate all of our listeners for choosing this podcast, supporting independent films, and the Blue Whiskey Independent Film Festival. I'm Jonathan C. Leggett, and thanks for imbibing with us.